Hey, hey there, beautiful souls. It's Lisa Nickel coming at you from the Sacred and Rooted podcast. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here and taking the time to listen. And I want to thank everyone who's, left a review, subscribed, left a message for me on my email, shared it with a friend. It's been wonderful and more than I could have dreamt of, really. It's just been absolutely awesome to get feedback and to feel for myself that I am doing something that I love, and then also that it's actually resonating with people is even like the cherry on top of the cake, right? So, this episode is all about 3 ways to start believing that you are worthy of your dreams. And before I get into it, I want to read you a poem, and this is definitely one of my top 5 poems ever, probably. It's from Hafiz. I'm never sure how to say his name. Hafiz, whatever. Not important. His words speak louder than his name over all these years. And I just want to read it to you, and then we'll get into the episode. So it's called, Do You Know How Beautiful You Are? Do you know how beautiful you are? I think not, my dear. For as you talk of God, I see great parades with wildly colorful bands streaming from your mind and heart, carrying wonderful and secret messages to every corner of this world. I see saints bowing in the mountains hundreds of miles away to the wonder of sounds that break into light from your most common words. Speak to me of your mother, your cousins and your friends. Tell me of the squirrels and birds you know. Awaken your legion of nightingales. Let them soar wild and free in the sky. And begin to sing of God. Let's all begin to sing to God. Do you know how beautiful you are? And so this poem for me epitomizes what's wrong with the world today. And if I was going to, trim it down just to one thing, we humans just spend so much time living separately from our spirituality and from our soul. We've done it for far too long, and we didn't always do it. But we've definitely been living like this for the last couple of thousand years. And look at, where it's got us. I think a lot of people are literally like spiritually depressed. And so we're coming to the point where we are realizing there seems to be a huge interest in a deeper meaning, unseen things in the world versus just living in the physical world. And so that's wonderful. And so, as you go about your day, I think the aim of a life is to really seamlessly weave and move between the layers of reality. And the physical reality is just one. In quantum physics, which nobody needs to be very good at or anything, but, a basic concept there is that there's at least 7 layers of reality. And so otherwise quantum physics, what they're finding there with all their experimenting is that it wouldn't be able to, it makes no sense if you're just looking at the physical plane. It makes what is happening in experiments impossible. And so if what's happening in experiments is possible, then maybe we're looking at the world in a different, not a very tunnel vision view of the world, let's say. And so this is what I want to get at today, is the beauty and awe and amazement and just like, how did we even get here? How are we here? Like, that poem to me is like everybody should fully realize and embody just how incredible they are. And then if we met people like that and we, experienced relationships like that, and we we're like that at work, and we, everything we did was sort of that level of like amazement and awe and love, the world would be a different place. And so maybe, you're going about your day. It's tricky. Like there's, the physical world is very, I don't know what you want to say. It's very convincing, I guess, maybe is a good word, as far as the fact that it is the most important reality, and it's convincing of that, and it doesn't allow for any other alternatives. And so we are socialized, where, from the day we're born, we are trained to want to succeed in the physical plane. So, have a great job, make lots of money, work, work, work. And you can do all that, and you could be a gazillionaire, and you could still have that voice whispering in your head, is this all there is? Like, is this it? Because we as humans fundamentally, like instinctually, are spiritual beings, and we are loving beings. And so we want that connection. We want that magic and mystery in our life. Like that is, you can't separate them and have like a healthy, sustainable person. And so we need to start really weaving the spiritual and the metaphysical and the unseen with the seen to create meaning in our lives, greater meaning in our lives, to feel more, I guess, to get really, really connected with what is our impact here. What are we here to do? And so with the poem that I read from the top, if someone said that to you, it would just be like, wow, you think I'm that, like, I can't believe you see that in me, or I can't believe you think of me that way, because that is just so over the top as far as what most people experience. And so it's just like this giant warm hug, right? And why can't we all have that? That'd be awesome. And so this podcast is, if you want to listen to it over and over again, I would love it if you did, until you're convinced within your mind, within your body, until you can really move in life as if and as though the fact of the matter is that you are incredible. You are more powerful than you think, and you are beautiful. That's it. And I know that the external world, basically from the minute you get up to the minute you get back to sleep, there's a lot of, saying the opposite, or just neutral, because a lot of times neutral is just like, blah, meh, blah, whatever. But I want to really encourage you to be engaged in life, in your life, because you have one. At least this life. There's only one right now. You have this one body, you have this one, personality. This is what you're interacting with in this lifetime. And literally the odds of you being born are 1 in 4 trillion. That is ridiculous. Like, if you think of that as far as a lottery ticket winner, that'd be like the most insane lucky thing ever for somebody to win that. 1 in 4 trillion. And so you're here. And then I had an astrology teacher tell me once that if somebody was going to come into this world with your exact birth chart, it was like a 1 in 77,000 year occurrence or something, except if you're a twin or a triplet or quadruplet or whatever. But 1 in 77,000 years, like, that's the next person that comes in with your exact chart. And obviously everybody can use their astrology in different ways, but if you were going to just say, like, on paper, you're the same as this person, that would be a 1 in 77,000 occurrence. Those odds are just mind-blowing. And so you're not here by accident. Nobody is here by accident. Your soul is here for an adventure of a lifetime, and it wants to be fully expressed. You know, whether in this lifetime or not, but while you're here, you might as well freaking make the most of it and just, give her. Like, I want to kind of like, I think I've said this before, but at the end of my life, I just want to kind of like vaporize. Like, whew, I've used it all up, like every which way. I have like nothing more to give. I have nothing more to do here. I'm just like totally done. And so on to the next life, right? So like, you are not here by accident. Your soul is here to be fully expressed in this human body and this personality that you've been given. And so what are you gonna do? Like, the world has plenty of meaningless distractions for us all. I saw a meme the other day, and it had some lady, she's laying on her bed, she's got her leg up on the side of the wall, surfing her phone or whatever she's doing on her phone. And it's like, I think the thing said something like, my version of living my soul's purpose or something like that. And I just thought, okay, it's true. It could be, and it could be. But I feel like 1 in 4 trillion and 1 in 77,000, like, we're here for more than that. And so let's contribute. Whatever dreams you have in your heart, let's get them out and let's see them. Like, we love to see you shine. And your dreams are for you. You would not have them if they weren't for you. You're capable of, bringing them out into the world. You are like the best person for it. If those dreams are in your heart, they're for you to bring forward. And so you might be saying to yourself, yeah, I get what you're saying, Lisa. I think I get what you're saying. That sounds nice and rosy and lovely, but, I'm here on planet Earth and my reality feels like a million miles away from my dreams. And so what in the hell, like, how do I get from where I am now to where I'm dreaming of being? And so I have 3 ways that you can move towards your dreams. And I know this to be true, that when you take, meaningful action, and then you have these intentions, you have these dreams in your heart, the universe comes to meet you. And who knows how and who knows when, but the universe rewards like action. And so I have a friggin' magnet on my fridge, which is only on the side of the fridge now because the fridge is mostly not magnetic anymore, which is really disappointing. Anyway, I really like the fridges that were like the white fridges that were totally magnetic, because I used to have a million sayings all over the fridge, but now I just have them, my favorites, on the one side. But I have a saying there, and I can't remember who it's from, but it's basically, it says dwell in possibility, and I totally love to do that. I can dwell in possibility for like forever. I could do it for my entire life. But I want to encourage you, I want to encourage myself to really step out into the physical world and move your divine downloads, your dreams into the physical world. We are here to be channels to bring that unseen and to manifest it into a physical reality. And so here are just 3 ways, just to keep it simple and kind of give you something to chew on, and then who knows, maybe I'll do another episode with a few more. But I really want to drill home the importance of believing that you are worthy of your dreams. Because I hear from a lot of people that, they have dreams. It's fun to daydream. It's fun to like dream, but it's almost like right after that, it's well, like I could never do that. I mean, because things would have to change, right? And we hate change even when we actually want it. And so a lot of people just put it off for another day. Don't want to rock the boat. Don't want to be, the one who does that first, or someone else has already done something similar, so I can, like, who knows, I can never do it, sort of thing. And I just want you to understand the importance of your voice, of your actions, because every single one of us, like I've already said, is just, we're unique. Every one of us is so unique. And so just, I would have never started a podcast if I was going to sit there and say, well, I mean, there's kind of probably already one out there like that. Probably there's a gazillion podcasts. So, but who cares? This is what I feel like I want to do right now. And so this is how I want to get my word out. I'd rather do this than, write and blog on my website. I'd rather do this than YouTube. So, like, why not me? And so I hope that can encourage you as well to do your special thing, whatever lights your heart up. Could you imagine if everybody in the world did something, even if everyone, even if it was kind of like you put it out in the world and you did it and nobody really said much about it, you would still have everyone on the planet walking around doing something that they enjoyed. That would make a huge difference, right? Like, that would just turn, bitter, angry, hateful people around into someone who's kind of enjoying themselves. And so wouldn't we make different decisions? Wouldn't governments make different decisions? Like, everything would be different. And that's not even saying, like, everything's going to be like a massive success and a massive everything. It's just when your soul is allowed to actually come through you and just become something in the physical world, there's a satisfaction and a deep fulfillment that it cannot come from just, well, I worked enough hours to buy myself a new car. Like, that's cool too, but it doesn't have the same, like, oh wow, that was good, like, that's good. It's a little more superficial. And so, okay, so sorry, I'm getting off the tangents here. And I have a bit of a runny nose because my allergies are kicking up a bit, but hopefully it's not too annoying. And hopefully I don't sneeze. Anyways, yes, so 3 ideas I have for how you can start believing that you are worthy of your dreams. And so number 1, just ask yourself, if you journal on your dreams and then, 5 minutes later, you're reading it back to yourself and you're like, whoa, like, what the hell? That was fun, like, good daydreaming and everything, but, like, who knows? How am I ever going to do that? And so I want you to sort of take the next step and break it down into small steps. Because, like anything else, when we have, like, sort of a big thing we have to do, whether it's something at work, whether it's a dream we want to have happen, anything complex, it's sort of like, oh, that seems too hard, I'm gonna just put it off for later. And then we just put it off. And so if we can take the next step and just start chunking it down into little pieces, how would it look in a year? Like, what would you have to do every year to get closer to that? What would you have to do every month to get closer to that? What would you have to do every week, every day? What's one thing you could do today, one thing you could do this week that would move you closer? Because time goes by anyway. So time goes by anyway, whether you're working towards your dream or you're sitting on the couch eating Doritos and just, like, numbing yourself out with Netflix, it's gonna go by either way. So what would be a more engaging, more exciting way to spend your time? And so then also, with this in mind, as you're thinking of the smaller steps, who do you need to be now that would be the person that you would be when your dreams come true. And so this is a tricky one because it's just super subtle, and I don't think anyone does it consciously or anything, but you know, when we're putting off our dreams, it's almost like we're not, what do you call it? We're not requiring any accountability for ourselves. And so it's like, you know, maybe I'll just put my dreams off for another week or whatever until things clear up at work, or until my kid stops doing something, till everything's perfect. Then you sort of, it's like you're not taking control of your life, and it's like someone else's, there's a reason why you can't do something, it's someone else's fault. And so when you start to think of your life in terms of, you know, who would I need to be? It's like a problem to be solved. Who would I need to be to have that dream already have happened? And so you start responding to life, and you start being in your life a different way, because it's like a power move in the sense that, you know, oh, okay, well, if my dreams have come true, you know, I am going to carry myself like this through the day. I am going to, you know, get my shit done right when, you know, I'm going to pay my bills on time. I'm going to make sure I don't leave anything too long where it just starts to be like something I dread doing. I'm going to get shit done, and then I'm going to also get some stuff with my dreams done. And so then your whole way of operating is more proactive, because you are the one on the hook for it, instead of just completely disengaging from life and, you know, there's always another reason why you can't do it, and da, da, da. And so I want you at the end of your life to have no regrets as far as, you know, how far you've brought your dreams forward. And so how would you dress? How would you keep up with your friends? How would you be at work? How would you even how would you get up even? If you were like, I'm going to work on my dreams today, it'd be like, okay, excellent, perfect, this is going to be fun. And I was talking to I was in my membership last week. The theme this month is transformation. And so I don't know which day it was, but we were talking about the fact that, you know, what if you woke up every day? You know how your kids go to school, and, you know, school is school, and so it's kind of like, most of the time. Hopefully not for your kids, but sometimes it is. But then if there's a field trip, it's kind of like, all right, it's like a new day. It's going to be something exciting. It's different. And so what if you woke up with that idea that life could be that interesting, or that exciting, or like that open to possibilities, that you're actually like, all right, it's a new day, let's go. And so these are just ideas on ways you can start kind of plugging yourself back into life, like really taking ownership over your life. You have this one life right now. This is your one body, your one personality, your soul is your soul. And let's go. Like, let's live it up to the widest and longest we can get it to move to. And so just to really start thinking about, like, if you have something that you want to do, to get off the idea that it's impossible. There's nothing that is impossible. But you certainly have to believe that you could have it, or that you could do it. And to really get into that energy of possibilities, to really get into that energy of, I can make this happen. I can, like, this is possible. How can I make this work? There was an episode I did earlier on where it was like the one life-changing question would be like, how can I make this work better? And so it just gets you in the problem-solving mood, or mode, I should say. And so, okay, so that was number one. So basically, you're taking ownership of yourself, and you're like, okay, here's what I want to do. Yes, I have to do I have to do work, I have to pay some bills. I have kids or whatever, you have your pets, your friends, your family, you have these things to do in your life and to keep up with and enjoy. And I can fit in some time to do, something that your heart desires and just move towards that. Now, number 2 is to be in gratitude. And I know that like pretty much everyone on the planet talks about that, but it's freaking true. You're not getting anywhere with, complaining, cranky, bitterness, crap, just like polluting the environment of others on a constant basis, or polluting your own mind. Anyways. So be in gratitude wherever you are, whatever your current reality looks like. There's something to be grateful for, and start small if you need to and build up. And the more you do it, the more you will see things that you're grateful for, because the mind works like that. If you're what are you focusing on? What you focus on will grow. And so if you're focusing on all the shitty things that you don't have, or the situations that you do have in your life that are crap, that's all you're going to see. It's almost like, a racehorse with the blinders on the side so they don't get distracted. It's exactly like that. And so if you turn your focus to the things that are happening in your life that are awesome, that you enjoy, that you love, that make you happy, that will be more of a forthcoming mood as you go on. And it's just like magic. We do have a huge tendency to, I was talking to this with my partner the other day, just how much people, you hardly ever get into a conversation with somebody, the sort of social chit chat is like, how's the weather? What's going on? How's the kids? There's hardly ever one that's just like, I'm doing great today, I had this happen, I did that, the kids were all like really great, it's awesome. There's usually, it's like almost, I think, a sense of belonging with people where you don't want to be like too much happier or too much more satisfied than the next person. And misery loves company, like that is a saying for a really good reason, because you can kind of get like dragged into that. And then of course you don't want to make them feel bad, and so you're not going to sit there and reply to something they're saying and tell them how awesome your life is, maybe necessarily, but that doesn't mean that in your mind and your self-talk and in your family you can't foster being grateful. And even if you do it in the evening, especially if you have kids, or it's like, before they go to bed, like, what are a couple things you're grateful for? Like, what was something that happened that was, that was happy, that made you happy today? And see what happens. And the more, like I said, the more you focus on something, the more, like, your attention is where your energy flows. And so if your attention is on good things that are happening in your life, good things that are in your life already, that is where the energy flows. And so there'll just be more good things. And who really wants to have something, that you're not having a good time with? You don't want to sit there and dwell on it forever and just like really sit in the mud with it, because it's just, it sucks. It's no fun. So just, shit happens to everybody, and then, but like, just, build your muscle to kind of like, okay, yeah, this happened. I'm not going to make it mean anything or tell myself really long stories about why it happened to me. I'm just going to get on, shake myself off and get on with my life, still in gratitude for the good stuff that is happening, because there's never nothing that's good. All right, so the third thing, ways you can start believing that you are worthy of your dreams, is to actively engage with the unseen. So what I mean by that is anything that has to do, with, anything that has to do with, you can meditate, you can pull cards, you could go for walks in nature, go to church, look for signs, dance, like stuff that brings you back to your 7-year-old child kind of thing, like the fun you would have, or things that bring you into the mystery a little bit more, and so that they remind you of the magic and the magnificence that you are, right? Just like that poem at the beginning and all those stats where it's like you're freaking totally 1 in a million, basically more than 1 in a million. And so yeah, so like don't forget that, like, society is just so full of ways to run you down and like chip you down and make you feel bad and just take a, knock your, what do they call that? I can't think of the word. I'm having trouble with my words today. But yeah, just knocking you down, like the smaller the better kind of thing, because maybe that's easier to control. But to really routinely dip yourself into that calm pool of timelessness, of magic, where the universe and you can commune, so that you can hear your soul, you can hear your own inner wisdom, your intuition, just all the louder. And that will give you so much more of a compass point when you're out in the physical world. And the distractions, the noise will just kind of start to get quieter, because you'll be so like aligned with your heart that you will be less able to be distracted, because you're clear on what's important to you, what your heart desires, where you're headed. And so therefore, when someone's on the side of the road like, hey, look it over here, hey, I have something else over here, let's do something, let's do this, let's, look at me, you just won't be as distracted, because it's like, yeah, I see that, but like, that's not for me, I'm over here doing my thing. And so meditation is super awesome. Obviously, I think that just to get into the quiet, because our world is so noisy right now, and just so noisy. And so to just get quiet, to get back to yourself, to just be with yourself and see, check in with yourself. How's it going? What's, whether you're too tired or whether you're just a little anxious or whatever it is, like, tend to yourself, because you're worthy of your dreams. And so if you're going to treat yourself like crap and wear yourself down and run yourself to the ground, and these are all like really poor examples of feeling. That's not how you would treat yourself if you felt like you were worthy. And so if you're worthy of your dreams, you would obviously be thinking that you are just worthy in general of a nice, consistent, lovely time in this life, right? And so not to make yourself, or not to be the reason, or the source of a bunch of things. Like you want to treat yourself nicely, and you want to make sure you get enough sleep, and you want to make sure you aren't running yourself nuts with things to do and things to volunteer for and things to help out with, and just giving your energy away at every turn. And so you have to think, okay, listen to yourself. This is me talking to myself. Okay, listen, I do this all the time to myself. I'm sure in some cases, sometimes I do it out loud, and then I think people are like, okay, I'm not sure about her. But anyways, that's not the point here. But yeah, just talk to yourself. Literally talk to yourself, or in your mind, talk to yourself. And what do you need? Like, check in with yourself. You're important. You are worth being treated well. And so you treating yourself well teaches others how to do that too. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, then who's going to do it for you? Like I said in, I don't know whether it just was the last episode or the second last one, but it's like, you are the one you've been waiting for. Nobody's coming to save you. And that is, maybe sounds harsh, but it's also incredibly empowering, because then you can obviously fix the problem and just start adding in, little by little, ways that you can engage with the mystery of the universe, with the magic of the universe, with the unseen layers of life. And as a reminder that they are just as legitimate layers of life as the physical world. They've just been sort of like erased from reality for the longest time, because that's just the way society has been, that's been running. And but we definitely need to get back to the way that we should be living, which is completely in harmony with the physical world and our unseen universal, the mysteries of the universe and all that fun spiritual stuff. And because we are spiritual beings, and so we need to acknowledge that as just an important part of our life, as the desk that I'm sitting in front of, or the phones that we have in our pocket. So again, the 3 ways to start believing that you're worthy of your dreams is to, the first one, ask yourself, what is your dream? What do I need to do to make it happen? Chunk it down into super small bits so that you're not overwhelmed with whatever the steps are. And so keep downsizing them until you get to a point where you're like, okay, yeah, I could do that. I could do that this week, no problem. And then week, months go by. Literally, time goes by anyway. So might as well add in a little bit of something that you're excited about, and then see what it turns into. What the hell can be the harm in that, right? And then the second way is to be in gratitude. And this is just a mindset shift. It's just a focus change. If you're going to live this life, why would you want to focus on everything that's going shitty? And instead, you can focus on the things that are working for you and the things that are going right, and just the relationships that you love, and the hobby that you have, and the sunrise that you saw this morning, or your favorite song came on in the car. Focus on that stuff and think nice, those were really great parts of my day. And then it'll train you to see more and more of that, and as your attention falls more and more onto that, you will have more to be grateful for. And there's probably people that would say, well, there's a whole bunch of crap wrong with the world, so we're not going to put on blinders and just la-di-da our way, or Pollyanna, or whatever they say, our way through life. And it's true, that's not what I'm saying. But there's never been somebody who's basically, the solutions to the problems that we have today are not going to come from people that are shitty, cranky, pissed off. Well, pissed off might work, because you can channel that into some really good energy. But if you're just sitting there complaining about your current situation, you're in no place to then go out and help someone else solve some complicated thing. And so you have to have an open heart. You have to have some belief that things can change, and that you're just as worthy of solving the problem as the next person. all the problems in the world are not going to get solved by one single person. It's going to be like communities and communities and communities coming together and working together. And so if you are already in gratitude, you are going to have more energy to then, serve a broader community. And if you're kind of feeling like your life is crap and you're not too hopeful about anything and you just, wish everything would get fixed and like then call me when it's done kind of thing, like you're not going to have the bandwidth, you're not going to have the energy to then, be a part of the solution. And that's where I want all of us to get to, is to be engaged in our life, happy in our life, and then we have this wellspring, this extra energy that can be put onto broader problems and issues in the world. And so that's a little off track, but that was be in gratitude in not so much of a nutshell. And then the third and final way is just to literally meditate regularly. Whether you meditate, whether you do breath work, whether you just sit in silence, whether you walk in nature and sort of contemplate, whether you sit by the ocean, whatever brings you peace, do some more of that. Because you want to be able to get quiet and comfortable with yourself enough so that you can hear your soul whispering, your intuition whispering, and just it'll make where you're headed in your life just so much clearer, because you'll be able to kind of tune in to the unseen part of life, which is the wiser part of life by far. And so if we can all become channels to kind of bring that wisdom into the physical world, we will change the world, and you will make your dreams happen, and everything will be different and way more amazing in a nutshell. Anyway, so yes, remember, everything is magic. Open yourself up to even the small little miracles and nudges from the universe. Like, just for a super short example, my sister, yesterday, she texted me, said she was reading that, what is it called? The Anamkara? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is, the Anamkara, the Soul Friend book. Anyways, she wanted to know, I don't know, she said she was thinking about me while she was reading it, and did I have a copy, because she was going to order me one if I didn't. And so I texted her and I said, well, I do have a copy. I've never actually read the whole book like straight through, though. I usually just kind of flip to a page and start reading it for a bit and then put it down and that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I think this is like a little nudge, like I should pull this book out and actually read it. And so this morning when I got up, I had pulled it out last night, and this morning when I got up, I started reading it from the very beginning, and I was like, this book is so awesome. And I knew it was awesome because, I mean, I've read little like bits of it, or I don't know if you want to say chapters, but somebody will quote something from it, and then I'll go look for it and then read the rest of it, kind of thing. But yeah, I started at the beginning, and I was like, it was just like the nicest, warmest hug, like soul hug, that it was just it's like such a good book. And so all that to say, just all these little things that are coming at you every day, just be open to like, oh yeah, maybe I should check into that book, I should grab it and see what's going on. I'm in another group, and we do I think they're called the angel numbers, where it's like 111 or 333 or 444. And so every time, and we're all in different time zones, which is pretty funny because a lot of people's numbers aren't the same. It's not the actual same number as mine at the time, but it's just fun because it's another way of remembering the magic. And so if, what are you noticing? What are you putting meaning to? And so why not focus and put meaning to the things that are magic? And so I think that's it. I think that's where I want to leave this episode. I hope that you know deep down in your soul that you are here to do and be whatever your heart desires. I don't even know what I'm not here to tell you what it is. I'm just here to tell you you've got things that you probably haven't done yet that you've been sort of holding back on, or maybe later, maybe when the kids move out, maybe whatever. Just start now. Just start now. Step by step. Time goes by anyway. You are worthy of every dream that you have in your heart, and I can't wait to see how it'll turn out. I wish you a beautiful day. Be sure to hit subscribe, leave a review, share this episode with a friend if you enjoyed it. I will see you next time.